First, let's look at the source, the data source. There are country, region, state, etc. and I've created a new calculation, which is I use profit to divide units sold. I name it profit per unit. Then let's look at the first sheet. It's the profit by region. In this sheet, the darker the color of bar, the higher profit per unit. We can see that the cruiser, it has the highest profit in 2019, and its profit per unit is also the highest. And we can also find out that other items which has the higher profit per unit is also high. Then let's move on to the next sheet, which is profit in the West. In this sheet, I'm curious why the cruiser how can it has the highest profit. So I took it out to the West part out, and here's the sheet. However, this time, the difference is the warmer the bar color, the higher the units sold it has. Which we can see that this time cruiser is still have the highest profit. However, this time the unit sold of it is not the highest. And we can also see that the Ascend 12T, it has the highest unit sold, right? But the profit of it is not the highest. We can see that. Now let's move on to the next sheet, which is units sold by state. This time in this bar chart, this chart is really convenient and efficient for us to see that the units sold of each state. We can find out that the California, the New York, and the Texas has high units sold, and I think the profit of them is also high. And so I took these three particular states out and put them into the next sheet, which is a high unit sold state. In this part, we can find a very interesting thing. Let's see that the unit sold California and the Pelican, the Pelican of it is low. However, the profit of it is higher, a lot higher. Higher than. And I think the reason is that the profit per unit of it is high. These rules also can be used to the other items. Let's see the cruiser. The unit sold of it is low, not that low, but yeah. However, and the profit of it is high, a lot higher than previous. And same to the Ascend 12T, lower, higher. And I think maybe this company might want to make some adjustment to their profit per unit. And then let's move on to the profit map in West. The reason why I put this map out is that I want to show that you can see that in 2019 the profit, let's just maybe focus on the DC Washington, the profit of it is 15449,620, and in 2020 the profit is lower than the previous year, but the whole sales, the profit amount of them is still increased. They add up and it's still increasing. And here goes the regional dashboard, the source profit. In this dashboard, I present the profit map of the West, as well as the profit of each item and department in the West. I include these two parts together in that I want to look the profit growth in different years. I mean, for example, let's look at the 2019. I can see that which item, the cruiser, contributes the most to the West profit in 2019. And finally, last but not least, the story part. I've created 6 sheets. I've analyzed the data before. What I found out from all this chart is that I think this company need to increase. I think the company need to increase the profit per unit to increase the total profit of the whole company. It's really obvious to see that a low unit sold but high profit. And to conclude, I think I learned a lot from finishing by writing this Tableau project. I know how to correctly use tools to analyze data and draw my conclusion. I think this Tableau is a really useful tool for me to analyze the data information more conveniently, more easier. And I also become more confident in my ability to analyze the data. I think which this project also improves my comprehensive learning ability. I do learn a lot from this Tableau 2 project, and that's my video. So long.